Good evening from InvestSharp.com. This is Randy Smotone with your Thursday, December the 9th market update. Had another pretty decent day in the market. Still kind of consolidating, but holding up well. So the dollar and oil were both pretty much flat today. Gold and silver were up. Copper was down. Light sweet crude futures were up a whole 9 cents to settle at $88.37 a barrel. Looking at the dollar ETF, so we're still had a kind of a little doji here. Pretty neutral. Kind of closed closer to the low than to the high, but pretty neutral. Didn't go much of anywhere. Over to the West Texas Intermediate Crude Point Figure Chart. Still got this 105 a barrel price objective hanging right here after we had broken higher. So oil's still holding up for now. Let's go take a look at the Russell since it had the most strength today. Russell was up about 3.5 points, which is up 0.47%. So it had the larger percent gain. Still holding up well, mostly consolidating, like I said, for the last couple of days. The Dow, which was the weakest, it was actually down 0.02%, not much. Another holding up well, still consolidating, holding up well. S&P actually, the bank's moving. S&P actually popped a little bit, and hasn't taken out this prior higher yet, but holding up, looking good. And then the Nasdaq, still same thing. High, it's looking pretty good, and actually it took out the high, I think, here 2630. Yep, took out the high of this previous high a little bit, just by a little bit. So still holding up, looking good. Let's look at gold, look at the GLD, the ETF. So I had this selling down here. We're still above the 30. We still got above the trend line, so it's holding up fine here. Silver, same thing. It still hasn't taken out the trend line, holding up all right. Copper just going sideways. Actually looked like it was pretty much an inside day of yesterday. Yep, inside day of yesterday. Euro was come off the bottom here a little bit, closer to the high, but didn't move a whole lot today. And then the VIX is still below the 18, where it kind of broke down, but we'll see. Might get a volatility is pretty low here. Could actually be like a wedge or something. I don't know. It's these patterns don't seem to work that well on the VIX. So see, let's look at let's go look at the McClellan oscillator. This is the NYSE McClellan. All right, so still very neutral. So we have plenty of room to move up or down. Take a look at the sectors. All right, so 12 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green. Banking index had the larger percent gain. Actually, again today, so it had that. Had the biggest percent gain yesterday as well, up 2.23%. Biotech index was the weakest, down 0.27%. So the sectors look pretty decent today. Over to ChartWatch. Start out with VMware. VMware hit resistance today, and we took our profits. Probably if it can break out and go higher, probably jump back on. But we did take our profits on VMware today, up against resistance, like I think most people, as it pulled back from it. But it's looking good after if it can break out past there for some higher prices. Stryker, same thing. We took our profits into that 53, but it looks like it's setting up for some higher prices. And I've been talking about this inverted head and shoulders for some time now, so like it. And then along with the this medical, like Stryker, this Quest Diagnostics. I don't know which way is this going to go yet, but I like this another triangle bouncing back and forth, getting close to the apex here. Tiny little, so possible breakout. Had some good volume here, so watch for a breakout in that one. Still holding up. Nucor still holding above where it broke out above the trend line, and still hanging in there tough. And X, same thing. Looks like it's just in a possible bull flag. So you need to wait for it to take out the previous day's high. And let's see, Intap also looks good, hanging in there after it had taken out this high here yesterday. Still looks fine. Deer, nice tight little coming, get a little doji string working. Looks fine there. Caterpillar looks like it's flagging. Bull flag, possibly. Looks fine here. Wait for it to break out of that. CMI, same thing. Looks like a little small little flag. It's working on. Apple is, I don't know what Apple's doing. It's holding up here fine, but it's just you know, I guess it keeps trying to shake everyone out. It looks like it should break higher though soon. Looking fine. Baidu, same thing. Baidu is just, it's still above the 50, but it's riding this. It broke out broke out here. It didn't go anywhere and then pulled back, and it's on really light volume. So I still think it can move and go higher. Riverbed, RVBD, Riverbed, same thing. It's got a nice little tight consolidation working, so need to wait for it to break out of that. UPS, and it looks good here. Nice breakout today. Actually, we took some profits in it because we've been in this one since a few dollars lower. So, but it's looking fine here. Should be setting up for some higher prices probably. Juniper broke out today out of this little wedge, this little triangle, and off to the banks. Wells Fargo, very strong. Nice breakout today above the trend line. So it should be setting up for some higher prices as long as it can hold that trend line as support. Bank of America breaking out above the downtrend line today with volume. Looks good. COF, talked about this one. So this one, Capital One, did take out the downtrend line today. And we'll note that some of these are probably getting, I mean, they've made such a run. I mean, it might be a little overbought. So, but keep your eye on it. Looks good. Talked about this one, I think yesterday as well. After it broke out here, looks like it's continuing higher. Looks good. Ameriprise Financial, whoops, AMP. Breakout today. Didn't have tons of volume on it, but a nice round bottom here, breaking higher. Looks, as long as it can hold that as a support, should be good. Intel hit resistance today, pulled back, but watch for a breakout over today's high with some volume. ICGE, Internet Capital Group. Let me get this little chart. So, all right, so it looks like it's had a lot of volume. Not seeing selling other than the selling here. It seems like it's all out of it here. So it needs to take out the high about 12, let's see, 12, 13. I would say today's high with some volume, and it should break on out higher. Stanley Black & Decker. It had a breakout here, and then this was a little longer at right. So it's got this huge triangle. So, and it actually broke above it today. So let's see what it does from there. But it looking like it's setting up for some higher prices in the future. CBEY, this little stock, not very most liquid thing in the world, tried to break out today, then pulled back. So probably need to wait for it over today's high now with some volume. Cloud Peak Energy breaking out today with volume. International Paper, I think we've looked at this one before also. So I had a nice breakout here. It's still holding it. Should be some support here. Probably going to have resistance up here at the top of this trend line when it's been hitting it, right? It's had resistance, so that would probably be your target short term. And then RDC, this nice cup and handle here. It's rolling companies, looks like it's setting up for higher prices. Maybe probably wait till it takes out this uptrend line and breaks on out if you're not already in that one. And then Iconic Brands, which were in this one and had a nice breakout today, and I talked about this one yesterday as well. Looking good. And then this one, kind of waiting to see what this does. Focus Media had been really strong, right? Had this huge run. So it's been digesting all these gains, yeah, and then of course it sold off some on earnings. So it tried to break out. It did break out above the trend line today, and with the volume. So over today's high, with some volume going higher, looks like it might head back up here to its highs. Of course, Lululemon on earnings, huge gap up. So if it can hold that, then you could jump on board. And Holly System Automation, big breakout today. So, and this has been real strong. So if you can get a dip in this one, probably jump on board. So on deck for tomorrow is we'll have the international trade number. We're going to have the import-export prices both at 8:30. Then we'll get consumer sentiment at 9:55 a.m. and Treasury budget at 2 p.m. And of course, that's all Eastern time. Take a quick look at the current market signals. There's no change here. All on buy, all on point and figure buy signals. Price objective per the point and figure chart. I don't calculate these. It does. And That's really all I have for you. So thanks for watching.